There doesn't have to be a, quote, drive ahead of time. First of all, what is a sex drive? When we say a sex drive, I mean, it's thrown around all the time, so it can mean a million different things. But what do we think that actually means? Well, wouldn't it probably mean it's the drive to have sex to then procreate? And it just so happens it feels great, so it's something that we want to do a lot. Now, yes, we have children and we love the children and all that, but it's a physical action that we will do as many times as we need because it's enjoyable to then get the result of having a child. But of course, that's not the only reason. Certainly nowadays, it's become many more things. So, and I just wrote a little list, but it's things like, obviously, it's about pleasure. You can just have sex for fun. It's okay. It's about bonding. If you're in a relationship when you're having sex, you will bond. Even if you're not in a relationship, how many times, if you've ever had a one-night stand or a brief little encounter with somebody for a few dates or whatever, and you see them years later, decades later, there's still that little like, ooh, we were, intimate together. There's still that bonding, even though there wasn't much of a bond because you were never really in a relationship. It's also a way to show love, certainly, especially for one partner in the relationship. Usually it's one partner more than the other, tends to prefer showing love through sex. That sex equals love, love equals sex. They kind of connect those two things. It's also a way to have a spiritual awakening. What does that mean, right? Well, think of it. When we have orgasms, what do we look up to? Eyes roll back, looking up to the third eye. If we talk about the Kundalini energy in the spine and blah, 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 the woo-woo stuff, it's that feeling that we get when we have an orgasm, which is a lot like the Kundalini energy rising up through our whole body, however you experience it. So when I say you don't have to have the drive first, what do I mean? Well, think of it this way. There are a lot of things that we do that we don't necessarily love to do initially. And I'm just using the example that I've written down here called or named the working out, right? Keeping in shape or eating healthy. A lot of times we may not love doing this. I mean, if you work out regularly, do you always enjoy putting your workout clothes on, maybe getting in your car and going someplace and doing it? Maybe not. Maybe even the thought of it's like, oh, I got to go do that. But after you're done, or maybe even while it's happening, it feels different. So you kind of muster up that courage, that energy. It is a kind of courage to do this repeatedly and go out and you do this thing for the payoff that comes later. Maybe it comes later as you're actually working out. Maybe it comes later after you've worked out for weeks, months, years, and you see the positive effects in your body, maybe how you've built your body and reshaped it. This is what I call the pleasure versus fulfillment. Pleasure is that instant gratification. You eat the chocolate cake now, it feels great right now. But then as soon as you're done, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. It's chocolate cake. That's bad. But fulfillment is the opposite, where it's something that you do incrementally over days, weeks, years, like I said before, and it builds into this goal that you can look back on and go, wow, I'm really proud for sticking to that diets or eating healthier, for exercising, for building a business, for whatever it is that you put a lot of incremental time into over the days, weeks, months, years. That's where that fulfillment comes in. So sometimes there isn't the immediate pleasure, but we get it later. When we're thinking about the drive, right? I just don't have that drive to have sex anymore. Why even do it? I don't feel that drive. Jonathan, I don't have any interest to do it. There's just nothing there. But unlike when I was younger, right? Boy, it didn't take me anything to get going. That's the difference. When we're older, we need more foreplay, not just foreplay physically, but maybe foreplay mentally. A lot more things need to go on. However, that's also a good thing because then sex can last longer. Whatever sex means for you, whatever lasting means for you, it can take longer. You get more time to connect and bond with this person. So it's actually a benefit, but it may not be great initially. So it's the whole fake it till you make it. Now, this is the caveat though. If it never feels good, like if it just never feels good before, during, or after, never any pleasure for you, and you want there to be, if you're in a relationship and maybe you or both of you want that to be pleasurable, see a doctor if that's not working out. See if there's something actually physically wrong, chemically wrong going on. But if it is enjoyable once you've started or after, think of it like the working out, where you're investing time knowing that it's going to be feeling great at the end, and you're bonding. You're getting to know your partner on that deeper level. These are important things. So go into it with a expectation that you're going to enjoy it, that you're investing in this experience, investing in your relationship's future, even though you don't necessarily have the feels, the positive giddiness thing you want to do it ahead of time. And you might find that the more you just do it, the more likely it sort of retroactively starts feeling good sooner. We make those anchors so that now then just thinking about it again, maybe not quite like when we were younger, but a little bit like that, where you get that association where, the Pavlovian response where the bell rings and you salivate. Well, maybe the bell rings on your text and you're like, ooh, my partner wants to have sexy time, and I salivate and other things flow for you. I don't know. But this is something that can be improved and encouraged when you put energy behind it. If you have any questions, put them below. Otherwise, reach out to me and I will see you on the next video.